Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at you. Today is the 11th of March, and I am continuing to give you guys shoutcasts here. Now, there's been a lot of talk about W3 Arena, which is another location that you can go ahead and play WarCraft 3. I think it's currently privately funded through donations to try and have a very lag-free WarCraft 3 environment. WarCraft 3 has been around for many years, and I don't know if Blizzard's been updating their current servers. Now, I would go ahead and suggest you guys check out War 3 Arena if you already have a legitimate copy of WarCraft 3. Trying to play on Battle.net is a little bit too cumbersome and slow for you. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Touch Fee spawning as the purple Night Elf player over here on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Sephl spawning as the green Undead. Undead versus Night Elf here on Amazonia. A 1v1 matchup, of course, as we are already going into a very early Warden. Warden, a very common hero, especially against the Undead, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Warden Panda follow-up. Warden plus Panda is two very effective AoE tactics against air units such as Gargoyles that do tend to give Night Elves a bit of problems. We do see the two more relics coming in. There is a crypt. Now we should be seeing some ghouls come in. There they are. The ghouls are now being trained as we already taking a look at one acolyte off over here. And the acolyte looks like it's going to try and aggro those creep camps. Alright, there it goes. Takes a bit of a purge and now is wandering away. Alright, this Ancient of War trying to absorb damage and not take too much. Meanwhile, the Warden will be popping on out of here in just a moment. First going after the rogue, and after one rogue is about, down to 25% life, we'll be going after another one there, and this creep camp will be cleared out rather quickly. Meanwhile, the Undead opening up, selling that Scroll of Town Portal for that extra 175 gold, picking up a Rod of Necromancy and a Dust of Appearance. Now, the Death Knight opening up with Unholy Aura will give him a much faster creeping time. What this allows is, because he's creeping out a slightly faster, he can perhaps get an advantage that way. He wants to just try and pull away from his opponent, as we now see a Purge quickly cast by that one unsuspecting Renegade Wizard. Back over here, the rogues are backing off. It looks as though two more rogues are still here as a Wisp is coming in and looking for a possible detonation. There goes one ghoul down to 22 hit points, but able to be microed in time and pull back. Coming back over here, you can see two very low hit point ghouls taking an absolute beating from the rogues here. No real heal as of yet, since Death Coil has not yet been teched. We can see that, or rather been trained. We can see level 2 now on that Death Knight. There goes the Death Coil, and with that Death Coil, we may now see a bit of a play off to the north. Now, I'm not quite sure why the Undead player decided to go for Unholy Aura if he was just going to creep out the two closest creep camps. Alright, what is going to be happening next? The Warden could be trying to get off a really easy attack there, and there could be the attack. No, there's a Blink. Level 2 already getting Blink and able to wander back away in just a moment's notice as the Death Knight now still massing up a large group of ghouls. Now, the Warden has to be extremely careful. She does need to get Fan of Knives, and we can take a look. We are teching the Tree of Ages, which means that a Panda could not be too far behind. The problem, though, is it does take some time to get to Tier 2, and during that time, you may be coming to a shell of a base already. The Death Knight, wandering around very quickly, takes down the sheep. You can see that there is a Warden there. The Warden does pick up Boots of Speed. And with that, the Warden now tries to get away. Is it going to be able to make much of a difference? So far, the Death Knight has absorbed a little bit of damage. The Warden, really not worth surrounding. As you can see that the Death Knight does have a Dust of Appearance. And there goes the Warden using that Dust of Appearance. And oh, in the middle of combat, dropping the Circlet of Nobility just to pick it back up. Alright, Ancient of War, a second one, currently being built in the back of the base. You can see another possible surround here. There is a Death Coil onto the ghoul, as the ghoul is just taking a lot of damage, and the Warden is just doing a great job constantly dropping that Circlet of Nobility and then picking it back up. Alright, Warden now going after all of these ghouls in the back. We may see another surround here in just a moment. There is another Shadow Strike, and the Undead player may have a bit of a problem if he is not careful. All right, in comes a couple of ghouls. Ancients of War coming to just destroy all of these units. There goes an archer, as we now also see a Goblin Shredder picked up. But the Goblin Shredder is of the Night Elf, if you could not tell, which means that he could get taken out very, very quickly. And if he does get taken out, that is just going to be a very large setback for Touch, as Touch does not have the ability to retrain another Goblin Shredder, and that Goblin Shredder does have very high DPS and also a good amount of hit points. Touch now giving chase once more. Touch now going to get surrounded by this army of skeletal minions. No, does not. That Boots of Speed making him slightly fast enough to be able to get away, as the Death Knight now gets to level 3. Alright, Panda now being trained. It looks like Touch is going to be coming back the other way with his heroes. Level 2 Warden, level 1 Panda, and we could be perhaps be seeing a Breath of Fire. Are we going to be seeing that? Is the Panda going to turn around and just get a huge blast across all of these ghouls? That could be a bit of a play here, as the Panda now getting surrounded, and as he is completely surrounded, he is just in trouble. Alright, Panda now trying to get away. There is a Drunken Haze, and the Drunken Haze only making it so that this Panda is in a very good position in terms of staying alive, but being surrounded for that long, even with all of that missing, even with the damage reduction from that Drunken Haze, the ghouls were able to finish and get their Panda. Warden sitting at level 2, currently hidden. Now going to try and break Shadow Meld, but unfortunately for her, the Warden is still exposed with that Dust of Appearance. It looks as though, oh, Squirrel Town Portal was used just in time in order to head back home, and it will teleport all the way back home, as the Panda is already about 3/4 of the way out onto the field. Warden quickly regenerating up some hit points, drops the Circle of Ability, but I think he did that a little bit late. Could have gotten a little bit more healing going on, as we are now looking at the Panda. And the Panda now going into a bit of an engagement. Death Coil onto the Warden. The Warden needs to finish off all of these units. There's a Drunken Haze. There is a Shadow Strike. This Shadow Strike Ghoul taking a bit of damage, and really with nothing to show for it, as there you go, finally getting up to level 3 on the Warden. The Warden could try to fan of knives and clear out this location. No, not even fanning of knives, just using Shadow Strike, pretty much like a Stormbolt, to try and pick off units and win the game this way. I don't believe that this is going to be that smart of a play. It is perhaps the best play he has, but it's not going to necessarily win him the game unless his opponent tries and makes a mistake. Warden now backing off all the way over here. You can see that the Panda, already in the back of the base as well, must have been resurrected at the tavern, as we are now just just zigzagging through this base here. Alright, Panda now looking to back off. There is another Drunken Haze. The Death Knight once again missing its target. Is it going to be able to finish off the Panda? Yes, it does. And as the Panda falls, and as the Warden is about to fall, I believe Touch is going to take game 1 in this series. So much going for Touch. So much, Sephl. So much going for Sephl. Touch just in a bit of trouble. And I believe that is the customary hey replays.net, as this game will be coming to an end. And as this game comes to an end, Touch going to lose that Warden and most likely give the GG. There you have it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1 in this series.